Hello everyone, DJ here. Let's buckle down for what could be a very interesting or complex or confusing or illuminating episode. Like any new year, there are lots of changes coming our way. And while I know we could have a great deal of fun identifying all of those potential changes, I'm going to keep that list pretty short and simple. I'm only going to talk about one thing today as far as the new year, and that is Tricare. Now, right away, we know this can get complicated, and there will be a lot of terms that I'm going to use that will sound alike. Please brace yourselves for that. I apologize. Those aren't my terms that I'll be using. They are the terms used by Tricare. I'll do my best to make this easy. If you'd like to double check anything that I say today, I'm going to include a lot of references in the reference section, a lot of links to give you more information about whatever I say. And when I say more information, I mean it. I'm not going in depth into Tricare today. I'm just going to talk about some of the major changes and give you an idea of what to expect. If I were to go into all of the changes that I've read, then we'd be here for a long, long time. It would probably be hours. And I'm sure you don't want to talk about Tricare for several hours at a time. So, those references are available. I'm also going to include, at least in the article version of this, a couple of graphics to help you understand what I mean. And I'll show them in the video version of this. If you're listening to the podcast version, I'm going to include a downloadable PDF file with the same graphics. All right, so let's dive into the topic. Hopefully my summary of this can make this easy to understand. That's the goal after all. And if we've got family members or other non-military people watching, Tricare, if you don't already know, is the health care program for military members and their families. There is a separate purchase option for things like dental coverage and a retiree version called the Tricare Retiree Dental Program. Those are not considered part of Tricare itself. Those are separate entities and are managed by different companies. Note, believe it or not, all of these things, Tricare itself and the dental program, yada yada, are not managed by a government agency, not managed by the Department of Defense. They are contracted out to civilian companies who hopefully can do a better job than the government could. So, as I mentioned, there are several different companies out there. There are also numerous versions of Tricare, and which one a particular member has will depend on a personal choice made by that individual and or the duty status of that individual. For example, if a person is a drilling reservist, an inactive reservist, or an active duty member, all of those would have different Tricare options. All right. With all of that prelude, let's finally get into the meat of the matter here. So, first, I'm going to talk about the coverage types of Tricare that we have or will have next year. The two most common types are called Tricare Standard, or actually I should have said one. The most common version is called Tricare Standard, which has an additive called Tricare Extra. These two programs are going to merge next year into a single program called Tricare Select. And don't worry about having to re-enroll, at least according to Tricare itself. If you're already registered in Tricare Standard or Tricare Extra, then on January 1st, you will be enrolled in Tricare Select. If you are in, pardon me, I'm going to read directly from my notes here, so I'm not trying to ignore the audience. If you are enrolled in Tricare For Life, the U.S. Family Health Plan, Tricare Dental, and the Tricare Retired Dental Program. There are not going to be any changes for those, only Tricare Standard and Extra as far as a merging. There are lots of little tweaks across all of these programs, but as far as the major change of two programs going away and being replaced by another, those are the only two. And if you'd like more information on that, you can go to www.tricare.mil/about/changes. You get a lot more information there, and I do mean a lot. If we were to take all this information about the changes themselves and put them together, you could form a book. In fact, I'm an information junkie, almost as bad as I am a number junkie, and even I was getting overwhelmed here, so that's why it took me a little while to boil all this down and decide what to include, what not to include, just for the sake of simplicity. Moving on. Now, Tricare Regions. At the moment in the continental United States, we have 3 Tricare Regions. Well, that's going to change next year, or I should say, let's see, I'm recording this a bit late. It's the evening of the 27th of December, so on Monday, the Tricare Regions are going to change. And it's not as bad as I make it sound. If you are in the region Tricare West, nothing changes. But if you are in the regions Tricare North or Tricare South, those are also going to merge like we had with Tricare Standard and Extra. The North and South regions are going to merge into the Tricare East region. So now the country is split into 2 components, an East and a West. The company in the East is going to be a different contracting company, at least for, well, I won't go into that, but the new contractor for Tricare East is going to be Humana Military. They will manage everything for that new region. The states in the Tricare West, as far as the region itself, will stay the same, but there will be a new contracting company called HealthNet Federal Services. In fact, they used to manage, or currently manage, the Tricare North region. They're now going to have twice as much territory to manage for themselves. And these contracting companies are responsible for customer service, claims processing, prior authorizations, etc., etc. They are the clearinghouse for everything regarding Tricare in their regions. And there's already a question of whether or not you'll be able to keep your current doctor and other health providers once these changes go into effect. And that's a yes but kind of thing, or yes maybe. Except for people under Tricare Prime, and I don't mean Prime Remote here, if your contractor is changing, meaning everyone in the new region, in fact, I don't remember who manages Tricare, even in Tricare West, I'm looking at the graphic right now, Tricare West and Tricare East both have new providers, new contracting companies. So if your current doctor is registered in Tricare already and will be registered in the new, under the new contracting company, then you should be able to keep them. Excuse me. It looks like from what I've read that, and I'm just going to throw a random percentage out there. Please don't hold anyone to this. This is just me pontificating. It looks like about 90% of the time everyone's going to keep their doctor. If you don't, then you can request a switch to a new primary care physician. You should get a notification. In fact, by now you should have already received a notification of a possible change in primary physician. And as always, I'm going to post links in the references so you can see how this applies to you. There are already documents, directories of the physicians in the East and West regions. I'll post links to that in the show notes. All right. Now, the part where everyone normally loses their minds. You know where I'm going here. We're going to talk money for a minute. Monthly premiums. The least surprising aspect of the changes we as reservists are going to face is a change in the monthly premiums. For those who are currently enrolled in Tricare Reserve Select, and if you don't know what that is a premium-based version of Tricare Select, which is available to drilling reservists. And I know that sounds, maybe that's why they changed it, Tricare Select for active duty and Tricare Reserve Select, so it sounds similar. But anyway, for those enrolled in Tricare Reserve Select, the premiums are going to change. And since we now have the information available, I'll go ahead and read it aloud. For member only, if you're not going to cover a family, then the monthly premium starting in 2018 will be $46.09 per month. And if you are going to cover your family as well, then the monthly premium is $221.38 per month. So, and compared to last year's premiums, for the member-only price, that's actually going down a little bit, about $1.73 per month. For the member price, that's going up almost $4. So not a huge change. Now let's flip the coin and go to our gray area retirees. Those are retired reservists who are not yet eligible for retired pay, just as a reminder to family members out there. These people are always going, or not always, also going to see a change in their monthly premiums. They are, for a member only, and the reason these are going to sound so much higher, by the way, than the Reserve Select premium is Reserve Select is heavily subsidized by the government. The Tricare Retired Reserve rate is not subsidized, so the member pays the full amount. So, for member only, in 2018, the monthly premium will be $431.35. And for member and family, the monthly premium will be $1,038.31. So that's about a $29 difference on the member only price and a $25 difference on the member and family. Moving on. So next, this is always a big topic whenever I talk to retirees about insurance. I never even have to bring this up. They always ask the question, what about dental coverage? They like their teeth. Or at least in some cases, the artificial versions of them. No, George Washington did not have wooden teeth, by the way. Anyway, they always ask about dental insurance, and that is available to currently serving and retired members. These are optional purchases. These are not included in Tricare itself. We have new premiums. I'm only going to read the premiums for, what the heck. Nope, I don't want to get too bogged down. So I'm only going to read the active duty premium, the drilling reservist premium, and the retired reserve is a separate one. So let me back up just to make sure. We have two things going here. We have Tricare Dental, which is for currently serving members, and then we have the Tricare Retiree Dental Program, which is for retired reservists. So, right now we're going to talk about the premiums for currently serving members. If you're an active duty member, the price so far is unchanged. I mean, we don't have new premiums for this yet. So I'm just going to read what the 2017 premium is as of 1 May. For an active duty member single, the monthly price is $11.10, and the family price is $28.87. For reservists, the monthly price is also $11.10 for the sponsor only. Now, if the sponsor is single, then this is a confusing table. It really is. Anyway, the single price is $27.76 to cover, and okay, I see now. If you're not, if you're married and just covering yourself, it's $27.76. If you want to cover just your family, it's $72.18 per month. And if you want to cover yourself and your family, it's $83.28 per month. This really needs a better description in the table. It can be quite confusing when you read it by yourself. All right, let's move on to the retiree dental program. And let me first throw in a major change to this program. In 2019, the Tricare Retiree Dental Program is going to end, and it's going to be replaced by another program called the Federal Dental and Vision Program. This particular set of benefits program is going to be administered, or already is administered, by the Office of Personnel Management, or OPM, which manages all benefits for federal employees. You'll be able to start enrolling in FedVIP, as it's called, in November 2018, so 11 months from now. And once you've enrolled, coverage will start on 1 January 2019. The nice thing about that is it looks like it's going to cover vision services as well, more so than Tricare does. Anyway, let's back up to what's coming in a week. The premiums are going to be a little different. There's only one region that I'm going to show for this example. There are a couple of regions across the country. Your actual rate could vary from what I'm going to read here, but don't be too distressed if that happens. The variance will not be much. It's going to be slight. So if you are a single person under the Tricare Retiree Dental Program, then next year's monthly premium will be $32.25. If you are covering two people, let's say yourself and your wife, then the monthly premium will be $63.95. And if you're covering 3 or more people in your family, then the price is $115 per month. As hopefully you know, whenever you enroll in one of these premium-based Tricare versions, your initial payment is always 2 months. 2 months of premiums. So whatever premium you heard me read for any of these things, double that in your mind, and that's what it would cost to enroll initially, and then you would pay for each upcoming month. Now, for some, this might be a hot button topic or a controversial topic, but I'll dive into it anyway. Tricare and the Affordable Care Act. And while the recently passed tax bill did remove the individual mandate for health insurance, specifics on how this is going to affect Tricare recipients and whatnot, how it will affect any of us, are not yet available. So I'm still going to post this information until we have a better idea. It's better to keep the thought of minimal essential coverage in mind just in case. As I always say, plan for the best, or plan for the worst, hope for the best. Well, here we'll plan for the worst, make sure we have minimum essential coverage, hope for the best that it won't matter, and we get what's best for us. So, you have minimum essential coverage if you are using any of the following health plans, and I'm not going to read them all. I'll post that in the show description for the video and the podcast, and it will be in the article which posts on Friday. So if you're in Tricare Prime, Prime Remote, Tricare Select, Tricare For Life, Tricare Retired Reserve, or the Tricare Young Adult program. For those that are premium based, that's if you purchase them. If you have any of those, they satisfy the minimum essential coverage requirement, and you're good to go. In this actual list, Tricare Standard and Extra were used. I replaced those with Tricare Select to try to avoid confusion. And if you want to see that, you can go to www.tricare.mil/about/MEC. That's Mike Echo Charlie. All right, let's hit a couple of other quick topics. Don't worry, we're almost done. If you are currently enrolled in Tricare, you will not need to do anything to switch. The plan is for everyone who's enrolled on December 31st to be automatically rolled into their new Tricare version on January 1st. So you should not have to do anything. If something does happen, I would recommend first contact an ID card office who operates the DEERS database. Make sure your information is correct there, and that should help alleviate the problem. Another major change that's coming next year will be greater access to military hospitals and clinics, if you have one local to you. You'll also have improved access to urgent care services without a referral. Excuse me. And that's if you're already enrolled in Tricare, of course, and you're not on active duty. I'm going to read another long link here. You can go to tricare.mil/about/changes/general-tricare-changes/access for more information. Now, the types of services covered by Tricare are going to be expanded next year. Some of the new services which will be covered are, I'll just read these directly, coverage of medically necessary foods and vitamins. That's pretty big, actually. Eligibility of certain enrollees for participation in Federal Employees Dental and Vision Insurance Program, FEDVIP, beginning in 2019. And extended coverage for certain members of the National Guard and Reserve dependents during certain disaster response duty. That's pretty interesting, too. And the link for a lot more information on the expanded coverage will be tricare.mil/about/changes/general-tricare-changes/coverage. All right. In 2019, as I said, members who are enrolled in Tricare Select will actually have to re-enroll for 2019. There's a possibility of an annual enrollment fee for that year, possibly in addition to the monthly premiums. You need more information on that. You don't have to enroll for 2018, but please don't forget to do so for 2019. You'll be good to go if you keep that in mind. Put it on your calendar, on your smartphone, set up a reminder, something. All right. Next, service members eligible for Tricare will be divided into two groups next year. If you or your sponsor's initial enlistment or appointment, if you're an officer, occurred before January 1st, 2018, oh look, all of us right now anyway, meet that, then you will be in Group A, Alpha. Everyone who is enlisted or appointed on or after January 1st, 2018 will fall into Group B, Bravo. The reason these are broken up into different groups is simply because the premiums and catastrophic caps and copays and whatnot are going to differ slightly, and I mean slightly. There's not a significant difference here at all for each group. And the last change I'm going to mention anyway is the ending of paper-based notifications like pre-authorizations and explanations of benefits. Remember all those things that used to clog up our mailbox? Well, depending on how often you go to the doctor. These will now only be available online. So don't look for them in the mail anymore. You'll have to get them electronically only. And personally, a little bit of opinion here, warning, personally I think this is a good step because of the additional expense incurred by having to print, stuff an envelope, post it, and in many cases have it returned to you because of bad addresses. So it's just the way things are going these days that moving things online is the best business practice. So here are a couple of numbers you can call if you need more information. And the recommendation is not to call until, well, that date's already passed, and after November 21st this year. If you need general help as far as regional help, then please wait until after January 1st. For Tricare East, hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Member time. So if you're in the Pacific Standard Time region, it's your time. If you're in the Eastern Standard Time region, it's your time. So 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., your time. The number for Tricare East is 800-444-5445. And if you are Tricare West, let me back up. Tricare East, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. member time. So when you strike the Pacific time, because if you're in Pacific time, you're in Tricare West. So Tricare East, only your time. Don't just forget everything I said a moment ago about time. Your time. So Tricare West, going back to that, the hours are Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. So that's extreme West Coast. The number to call for information and assistance is 844-866-9378 or 844-866-WEST. I'm also going to post, by the way, a link to the frequently asked questions for all these changes under Tricare. There is a lot of additional information out there, so please take a look at that. Yeah, I'm giving you some homework here, but this is a lot of information already, and I've only hit the highlights. But this is already a lot to absorb, so I think just for the sake of brains not melting, we should call it for today. Please contact me if you have any questions about these changes, these revisions in Tricare. The best places to do this are the comments section or by emailing me. I will dig up the information you need. If I cannot, I will let you know who can answer your questions. As always, I ask that you share this video, give it a thumbs up, drop some comments. Let me know what you think of what's going on with this channel. If you're listening to the podcast version, then please subscribe and spread the word about the podcast. Drop a review in iTunes. And as always, if you know anyone who can benefit from this information, please share it. Lastly, thank you for joining me today, for being a part of this audience. I greatly appreciate it. As I said in a bonus episode a few days ago, actually it's a little better now, the viewership is growing, the subscribership is growing. I do appreciate it. It's modest right now, but it's a nice work in progress. It's encouraging. Thank you for being a part of this audience. Last but not least, thank you for your service. Have a wonderful day.
If you liked what you heard on today's episode, then please go below and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, please let other people know about this channel and the information it can provide for them. If you have questions or comments, then please have no qualms about posting them in the comments section below. Please remember the RC Retirement YouTube channel and the RC Retirement website are not recognized or endorsed by the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or any other government agency. The information presented in these resources are for entertainment and informational purposes only. Also, the content of either of these resources should not be considered financial or legal advice. Please consult with your own legal counsel, accountant, or financial planner before making any decisions based on what you have learned here. As always, thank you for watching the RC Retirement YouTube channel.